Right now, class begins. Hi, Kaitlin. So it's the last episode in our spooky season, and I was like, Kaitlin, let's do something fun. What do we want to do? And I couldn't come up with an idea, and you couldn't necessarily come up with an idea. So we came up with a like I don't want to say like a on brand for Home's Room, but like we end our interviews with a this or that, and there's no better way to have a fun, class experience than would you rather. So Kaitlin, are you excited?
Yes, of course I am. I'm happy to hang out and have fun, creative time blocked out in my weekly schedule.
Kaitlin, I sense a little apprehension to this. Would you rather? Can you tell everybody why there might be some apprehension to this? What would you rather?
So to plan episodes, we have a shared Google Doc where we'll like upload or we'll like update with notes or like have a set schedule for what we're going to record when. And we'll just shoot each other text of like, hey, doc's updated, whatever. Matt updated the doc with the list of like would you rathers for this episode. And I don't know if I'm just very sensitive to it, but there's a lot of death on this this or that prompt list. And I don't know. I just have
I didn't come up with them, for the record.
You did not, but homies, let's just start this with a grounding. Whatever spooky ooky garbage we talk about, you stay in your respective places. None of you are allowed to come home with me. If you're a video viewer, I have my little cocoon already set up on my bed back behind me that you can see in my vanity mirror. I'm trying to hit some melatonin and have a good night's rest, so I don't need no spooky ooky Ouija board demons or whatever spooky stuff we talk about to latch onto me and come home with me.
So for just so everybody knows, I sent some would you rathers. I didn't come up with them. I had to search for them, and let's just say searching for them was not nearly as easy as I thought it was going to be. I figured I could type in to the Googles and just say, hey, spooky Halloween would you rathers, or any variation of those words, and everything that came up was, would you rather go as a scary costume or a funny costume? Would you rather go trick-or-treating with a family member or trick-or-treating with a friend? And it was like, why is this a thing? So I had to search, and unfortunately, through my searching, I found these. And these ones were definitely more of the darker, I guess. But hopefully it's fun. So we'll see. Also, in our timeline, right before we started recording, I said, oh, I'll tell you later. So I just made Kaitlin hang out on the edge of her seat for probably the most useless announcement. But it's National Podcast Day, or Podcaster Day, in our timeline right now. So Kaitlin, happy holiday geared towards us that nobody knows about or probably cares about, but maybe the 50 podcasters that came up with a day for it.
I hope you posted that in our Riverside Facebook group. But thank you, and happy Podcaster Day right back at you as the driver of the ship and the homie that started the Homes Room podcast. You are
sailor of the ship, engine. What?
Steam
Captain?
Engine of the ship.
I don't know whatever that person is. I don't know what that is. Navigator, maybe? I don't know. Either way. No, yeah, I did not post it in a Riverside group. I saw it. I think I saw it on Instagram this morning from a podcaster, and I was like, that can't be real. And then I saw more people that I follow posting, and I was like, is that real? And then the Riverside group, which again, shout out to Riverside, the software that we use to record. In their group, they said something about hey, and they had a whole graphic made up, and I was like, cool. It is.
That's awesome.
I'll have to tell Kaitlin later. It just happens to be on a day that we record. So speaking of recording, I definitely think that we can have fun with these, and there's enough questions, but I'm really curious if we doubled up on any of the questions. I highlighted the same ones that you highlighted because we didn't send them. So for everybody out there, hopefully this is fun for you. If you want the lists, I'll probably post them. If you don't want the lists, I guess close your eyes. I don't know. But you can answer any of these questions. I think it'll be fun. I will. Like I said, drop the lists in our social so you can answer whichever ones you want. Send us a DM, email, whatever you got to do. This one definitely is not a carrier pigeon answer because I don't think I would remember the questions unless you write them down. So maybe not the carrier pigeon part, but I digress. Kaitlin, are you ready for the first would you
Yes,
rather?
I am. But yes, I am.
I already asked you this one, so I'm just gonna ask you the first one that I had. So you already heard it to ease into this a little bit, if you will. But Kaitlin, would you rather receive a mysterious ancient cursed artifact as a gift, or stumble upon a haunted Ouija board?
Accidentally get an artifact as a gift because, believe it or not, I may not look it. I definitely don't sound like it. I try to not get involved in all the curses and the demonic stuff. If I stumbled upon a haunted Ouija board, I think I would want to play with it. Not a good idea. I would not. That's not a good idea.
Ouija boards are like guns in the street. You leave them alone.
Yeah, don't touch that shit, please. Jesus, call the police, report it. But Jesus,
Right.
if a friend accidentally gifted me an artifact, first of all, I get a present, so that's fun.
Yeah, that's fair.
And there's no telling what that artifact like could bring me. Like it could bring something fun where like I stumble upon stuffed crust pizzas every time I'm trying to find something that I lose. If I stumble upon a Ouija board, I just got demons or like mad messages from my deceased loved ones from beyond the grave or some shit, you know.
Yeah.
I definitely picked the first one. What about you, Matt?
Yeah. I didn't process that I was gonna have to answer the question back, so I didn't have an answer prepared. I would probably do the accidental gift simply because like everybody meant well in the situation, and it's like, oh, okay. And like if I know that the gift ended up being the reason, then like there's something I could do about it. If I open up a fucking portal with a Ouija board, then I'm like sitting here stuck with a portal that I like didn't intend to open. I was just trying to, but also just as a shameless plug, the script that I wrote for like the little short is basically that is like either it's a cursed Ouija board or it's a cursed item that they got and they have to figure that out. So there's that. There you
I
go.
love that. Yeah, I'm okay. At least we're on the same board for that one, and I did not have that question selected. My first one was one of the more like the easier answer questions that I selected off my list. And also the one that made me not so sad.
Okay.
So, Matt, would you rather die from laughter or have your immortal soul trapped in a jar of eternal torture?
Die from laughter, I guess. Like that's such a, like I said, these are so wild. Some of them got so strange. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go with the laughter part because at least like what is it, Paul Walker? If one day the speed kills me, just know that I went smiling. So like that's all any of us ever ask for. Just know that I went smiling. I mean, it sucks that like I smiled / laughed to death, but at least it was good. And it didn't say I was getting tickled. It just said I like laughter, so I could be laughing at anything.
First of all, timestamp it. We are 10 minutes into the end cap episode of our Halloween series for the second series, and somehow Matt shoved in a Paul Walker reference. So really very impressive, to be quite frank. But one of my favorite reasons that we play this is to like have our justifications for our answers.
Yeah.
So obviously I picked the same one. No, I do not want my soul trapped in a jar of eternal torture forever. No, I want to die of laughter because my insinuation is that I am elderly and like my heart has deteriorated, or like I know that right now if I were to like laugh a lot, it wouldn't kill me. The insinuation is that I have decayed and I'm now decrepit and my health is flawed, but also giggles. So at least I had some like
fair.
happy chemicals in my brain.
That's fair. I feel that one. In my head I was like, I just had this picture of like I'm sitting in an old folks home and Gary down the hallway is trying to walk and his pants fall down and I laugh so hard that I die because I just had. So I mean there's worse ways to go, I guess. Fucking Gary over here killing me with his butt crack.
Mm-hmm.
But my next one, if you will, buddy, is would you rather attend a seance with a renowned medium or spend the night in a haunted forest with a group of amateur ghost hunters? And I'm throwing that one in there because you booked a session with one and we know ghost hunters. So you have a firsthand
Mm-hmm.
real potential to answer this question specifically for you.
Yes,
So what you
specifically
got?
for me. While both are very appealing options, I will choose the first one. When we interviewed our wonderful ghost hunter friend, and she like had like this whole emphasis, even in the first interview where you were talking to her about it, she's like, you have to have a sense of like open mindedness to like actually experience these encounters.
Yeah.
I took that to heart, and I want to like put myself in a situation where, okay, this person, I don't know, maybe it's like snake oil or something, but I want to put
Yeah.
myself specifically in an environment where I have the best odds and the best chances of opening myself up to these encounters. And my hope, call back to the disclaimer of this episode, is that if I'm doing a like structured seance with somebody that knows hopefully what the hell they're doing, no ghosties will attach to me and come home to me.
I
So
like
that's
it.
my
I
answer.
like it.
I picked the first one.
I like it. If you're, are you throwing it back at me? Is that what we're gonna do and throw it back?
We can, yeah, let's do that.
Okay. I was thinking of an answer because I didn't prepare an answer for myself for any of these. So if we're gonna do that, I'm gonna say amateur ghost hunters because like I think the experience would be fun and like I'm all about like creating experiences now in life as opposed to like whatever. So if I don't trust the like even though you are a renowned medium, I still don't know whether like there's too much question there. Where
Mm-hmm.
even if I go and just get scared shitless because like we are hanging out and we're doing the ghost hunting thing, it's still a memory that like I'd be able to walk away from and be like, remember the time we were like scared shitless and we really don't know if it was like actually a ghost or if we were just like, if I go to a seance, it's like, I think that was real, but also, did I post that 6 years ago on social media and you
Yep.
just found it? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so there's that.
I respect it. I respect it. All right. My next this or that, homie. Like, I very quickly was running out of like happy ones.
This is gonna have to be a video just simply because like your faces have already been hilarious and I love it.
I hope you do a supercut because my expressions. I know I'm due for another round of Botox, but damn, man.
Ouch. Ouch.
Would you rather be controlled by a voodoo doll or suffer the consequences of a black magic spell?
I almost picked that one because I was like, that one's funny. I like that one. It's like kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like I would say black magic over the voodoo doll because the voodoo doll, like the black magic thing, like at least it's somebody like it's somebody with intent did a thing and like it's like dedicated to that thing. Where if it's a voodoo doll, they throw it out because they because whatever whoever it is, like I've learned my lesson and like now I'm trying to make amends. Like they still have the voodoo doll and they could still be doing stupid shit, or they could give it to somebody else and then like I just pass it around. Like I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like if you're gonna come for me straight up. Don't so
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with a black magic curse. That's what I'm gonna go with.
I also said the same thing because granted, I don't know if you know this about me, Matt. I'm not a like subject matter expert in black magic or any type of magic
Yeah.
or anything like that. My hope would be though, if it was a black magic spell, that there would be the potential to break a black magic spell. Now, would it take me for fucking ever to figure out what
Yeah.
is even happening in the first place and also how to break this black magic spell? Probably. But it'd be a good story.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that, and that's kind of what I like. Kind of what I thought is like if it's black magic, like chances are not only like maybe it'll wear off, maybe it won't, maybe I'll find a way to get around it, maybe like some goofa dust or some some garlic and some salt over my shoulder, like something maybe. But a voodoo doll is not crap, and it's just laying around, and then one day somebody like finds it under some stairs, and then all of a sudden you got pain in your kidney again, and you're like, man, where the this I haven't felt this in years. Like, no, I don't need that. I don't want that in my life.
I
All
respect
right.
it.
All right. So my next one, and this is where they're, I guess, going to start getting a little harder, heavier,
Mm-hmm.
scarier, whatever you want. So would you rather accidentally summon a demon while experimenting with the magic that you don't know how to use that you just said, with dark magic, or be cursed to always see ghosts even when you don't want to?
Ugh.
See, and again, it's a perfect one for you because you don't know how to use black magic, and you kind of want to see a ghost, but kind of don't want to see a ghost.
Well,
So
Matt, I don't want to be open-minded and see ghosts all the time.
exactly, that's why I said this is a perfect one for you. You either fuck yourself with the magic, or you finally get to see ghosts. You just can't stop seeing them. Jonathan Livnicki? No, is that no? Who is that one from Signs? What is that kid's name?
I've never seen Signs. I don't know. I'm sorry.
There's the actor from Signs is what I was going for, but I can't think of what his name is.
I would pick the first one because I hope that I would trip and fall and do some accidental bullshit that's not like too severe.
Yeah.
And I would pick the that to me is like the easier choice to stomach because I don't want to see ghosts. I don't want to see them all the time. Like, yeah, I want to be open-minded if if it's fated that I'm supposed to have some kind of spooky encounters or like spiritual encounters, like, okay, that's cool, but like I don't want that shit all the time. I got enough shit going on up in my brain all the time.
Yeah.
I don't need outside stuff too.
That's fair. I feel that. I could see that. I could see why you would choose that one, given the context that you just gave. I like it. I see ghosts all the time, so I'm fine with that one. Like, that's the thing that if I see them even when I don't want to, guess what? I always see them when I don't want to because I don't necessarily want to. So there's that. So I'm just living my normal life, just kicking it the way I was. So hey, listeners, which one would you choose? That's a good answer. Sorry, I was hitting you at the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I was trying to recreate there.
This one feels like a cop out for you, Matt.
I mean, I don't want to summon a demon, so like that's definitely not on the list of things I would ever want to do, unless this or that puts me in a position where I have to choose it. But no, I'm good.
I picked this next one because Edgar Allan Poe is actually my favorite.
Yeah. Strong Marylander there. I like it.
Poem writer, poet, if you will.
Yeah. Yep.
Would you rather have a pet black cat with magical powers or a talking raven that offers cryptic advice?
I'm gonna go with the raven, only because it's just like I feel like that'd be hilarious. I feel like you could just sit there and this motherfucker would be like chirping you, and like I don't say chirping because it's a bird. I mean like chirping, like just giving you fucking unsolicited like bullshit advice, and you're just like, thanks, fucker. I don't know what and then like 2 days later it finally clicks for you, and you're like, God damn it, and it's just sitting there. And as you know, birds like that hit you with a fucking laugh, and they're laughing. They know you just spilled your coffee and they are laughing at you. That is how that works. So like I just feel like that would be fun. The cat thing, like I have a cat, and if my cat had magical powers, I don't know what the fuck she would be choosing to do, but I know it would be no good. So I don't want that.
No, shout out to my cat Izzy. She's a fat, mean old bitch. So I picked the same thing. Homies, in our timeline, it is before, and when this releases, it'll be before the presidential election. I've said multiple times on prior episodes, do not feel pressure to be chronically online. Ignore all the political content. You don't have to pay attention to it. However, probably the only content that I've consumed from like a potential presidential candidate before he dropped out, RFK Jr. has ravens. He has ravens at his house. And I like to have ravens trust you, and like also just to be that crazy lady that's like throwing fucking keys and tinsel and shit out in your yard to try and bait them to like come and hang out with you. I
Yeah.
feel like that would be such a fun side quest and very much on brand for me. So I also choose the talking raven that offers cryptic advice. And you're spot on with your justification, dude. My talking raven would be cryptic as shit, would laugh the hell out of me, and then it would be like days later, the cryptic advice would come to fruition, or like it would hit the
Yeah.
space in between my ears
Yep.
correctly. I'd be like, damn it, you motherfucker.
Yeah. And then how do you face it again? How do you go back to where this motherfucker is and it just looks at you judgingly and you know it's looking at you judgingly and you're just waiting for the next thing and it's like, okay, get it over with. Just say whatever you got to say so I can move on with my day.
All right, you little
Um
shit.
yeah. So this one we just did our buddy watch, so I had to find this just happened to be on here and I was like, oh, this is perfect. So this first like set literally was like the Kaitlin pack. So I had to hit this one too. Would you rather be trapped in a classic horror movie scenario like in Night of the Living Dead or a modern horror movie scenario like in The Conjuring?
Tell me why I also selected this question,
Yay!
because I wanted to hear your answer, but specifically because, um, okay, my answer is the first. I want to be trapped in a classic horror movie scenario because a couple things here. Number one, classic horror movie villains are not as scary now in modern day times. Like, for example, Jeepers Creepers totally can catch these fucking hands. I still find Jeepers Creepers completely terrifying. But like Mike Myers maybe, and just like some of those like very classic
Yeah.
horror villains where like the CGI is garbage, if there even is any CGI in it, that's a
Yeah.
little bit easier for me to stomach. Unlike the spooky ghosts and demons in The Conjuring, I have not ever seen The Conjuring in full. I've watched TikTok clips of The Conjuring. I
Yeah.
don't need to be lighting little candles with little demon ghosty hands clapping over my shoulder to make it go out. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. But I also say the classic horror movie scenario because the standard trope of a woman in a classic horror movie is exactly what we talked about with our buddy watch of The
Yeah.
Vacancy and Miss Kate, love your European accent, Jesus H. But the whole no, please don't do it. Like the damsel in distress, overdone, over dramatic. I would really, as annoying as I would find it, I think I'd have so much fun playing that.
She said, I got Final Girl vibes. I don't care what you say. Yeah.
What about you,
that.
homie? Which one are you picking?
For the exact opposite reason that you just said, I would do a modern because all I got to do is be smart enough to not go in that room, and the movie's over. Like I don't have to worry about it. All I got to do is be smart enough to be like, let's not split up, guys, or let's not go down this road and ask this creepy guy for help. Like, and I'm usually good. Whereas in the older movies, no matter what you did, Mike Myers still somehow ended up behind you, even though the motherfucker walked the opposite direction and you ran the other direction. It's like, what? How the hell? And so, yeah, no, like, I mean, legitimately, Friday the 13th, over my shoulder, love those movies, but I don't want to fuck with Jason. I don't want to, I don't need that. Like, I don't want that in my life. But,
I can't imagine, homie, that your proposed modern horror movie would perform very well in the box office, but you absolutely would make it to the end.
well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it doesn't say how I have to act in it. It just says like to what scenario. And it's like, if I was in The Conjuring, it's like, okay, cool. Ghosts are real. And then we're just sitting there chilling, watching TV for the rest of the movie. Like, I don't know. But yeah, so,
Let me
what,
skip to my next one because
okay.
you picked one that's on my list too.
I told you it was going to happen. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's true. We have like, yeah. Okay. Would you
It only
rather
took
have
4.
number 4? Would you rather have a friendly zombie as a roommate or a mischievous poltergeist that plays pranks on you constantly?
Ooh, that's really freaking hard. So, have you seen Shaun of the Dead?
Once when I was very early in middle school, not enough to remember the plot very much.
well, it's not the plot. It's just at the end, it's like his homie is a zombie, and they're playing video games, and he's trying to like he tries to like bite him while they're playing video games, and he's got to be like, hey, so is it a zombie like that where like I gotta watch myself every 5 seconds to make sure that this motherfucker ain't gonna try and eat me in my sleep, or is it like he's tame and knows like I like friends are friends, not food.
Matt, I default to the creative liberties that you would like to take because between the two of us, you know more about zombies than I do, and also the sky's the limit when we justify these.
That's just fair. So like to me, it's like, well, it depends on if the zombie is like operating as a zombie and it's like chained up. I don't want to have my homie chained up. That would be like disappointing. But like as I'm the father of like a teenage and almost preteen-ish girl, we watch the movie Zombies on Disney, and those zombies have bracelets that keep them like from like zombieing out, and like they're like functioning people in society. So if it's zombies like that, then like, yeah, okay, cool. But because I don't know whether those zombies are or aren't, I guess I'm gonna be like friggin' walking through tape and trying to like go get a drink of milk, and the shit's like open on the bottom. Like, well, a poltergeist is playing pranks on me because I don't want to jam up a zombie homie. Like if I don't if you can't be you and free, I don't want to make you like trapped in my house and you can't go nowhere. So we're gonna go with poltergeisty fuckery or yeah, poltergeisty guy.
I also pick a poltergeist, but also more so because I would like it's the prompt is very reminiscent of Peeves from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Um and pranks on me constantly, like if as long as they're not like too intense or too, I don't know, like Peeves at the end of the day, even though he was a little snitch and he was a narc and he always ratted on the students that were out after curfew, like wandering the halls, he was pretty well harmless. Like he wasn't ever, you know. But yeah, for that reason, I pick Poltergeist as well. Mostly because I really wish I went to Hogwarts, but you know, it's fine.
Fair, fair. All right. So my next one is: would you rather be stuck in an abandoned haunted house overnight, or dance with demons at a witch, or at a witch coven?
I mean, Dance with Demons, because I hope I'm also like shitty and litty off of some witch spells or incense or
Yeah,
whatever the
fair,
hell, you know?
fair.
Like, uh, and also if it's a dance party and I get tired, I can just go home.
That's fair. As long as you're not under the influence to the point where you can't drive. Um,
Too.
I enjoy that you just like sidestep that. Like, I don't want to stay in a creepy house. I'd much rather dance with demons. That's hilarious.
Mhm.
I feel like there's some unpacking that you did not do for that one, but
That's
I
okay.
appreciate it. Uh, I would pick to stay in an abandoned haunted house again, because it's a thing that like the word like I just got to be here. Demons are a whole other thing, and yeah, I don't know if I'm feeling that one. Don't know if I'm feeling that one.
That's spooky. I don't like that one. That's spooky. Okay. Would you rather have the ability to erase one traumatic memory from your past or know every traumatic event that will happen to you in the future?
I think I almost selected that one, but I didn't. Yeah, I think I almost selected. I was like, wait, did I also? That's one that I was like, oh, that's a good one, but I don't know if I want to ask it. And I'm glad you did.
Mhm.
Um, that one's really hard. All right, ask it again, and I'm just gonna throw the first answer that comes to my mind.
Would you rather have the ability to erase one single traumatic memory from your past, or would you rather know every future traumatic event that will happen to you?
Erase one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I feel like I wouldn't want to know what's gonna happen, because it, I've grown to be the person that I am because of the traumatic things. So if I can erase one that maybe like is a hindrance to like who I want to be in life now, it's better. But if I knew everyone and I could avoid them, or I didn't like it didn't I didn't learn a lesson through them the way that I could have, then like would I end up being a shitbag person? Because I wouldn't want I don't want to be a shitbag person.
Either that, or would you like accidentally, while we're talking this through, would you accidentally like cause more traumatic events to
Yeah, exactly.
happen
Yeah,
to you
yeah.
because you're
Because
trying to
yeah,
alter?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like butterfly effect, but in reverse.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's like I don't need that.
Well, that's validating because I also picked the same um answer, not because I have like a specific traumatic memory that comes to mind. Um Switching gears to like philosophy or whatever the hell. um there's this like thought, and like I don't even know who said it, but it's a quote that like to exist is to suffer, that like that is just part of the human
Yeah,
experience. I think that sometimes traumatic events can be like positive. There are still positive things that come out of awful things that happen to you, but if you have the ability to suffer, you still know that you are alive.
yeah,
So for that reason, I would rather, like, I don't know, conveniently forget something that makes me feel awful that happened to me in the past, while still be able to soldier forward and have some semblance of being who I am and who I have become in uh in like in spite of those past
yeah,
traumatic events.
yeah. 1000%. Also,
That one got
I
deep, Matt.
yeah, I'm
That
saying
was
I
cute.
wasn't expecting us to get deep on this one, but there you go. That's what you get when you come to a Homes Room
That's
episode.
so nice. What a
All right.
bonding
Yeah.
experience.
So, speaking of none of that, would you rather make a deal with the demon to save your soul, or try and risk witchcraft to break the spell?
Second one? I said that like a question, but second one. Because as a self-admitted control freak who's still in therapy and working through a lot of that, I just know what is my like in my default setting of how I would approach a situation would be more geared towards the second one, and it also sounds less scary.
Yeah, that's fair. I would also go with the second one, uh, like risking witchcraft, because I have some sort of, like you said, control. I have some sort of control over that situation where, like, as a supernatural fan, I just get like super Crowley vibes where I agree to this fucking deal, and then it turns out to be some other deal that I didn't know because their fine print is non-existent. It's just the demon deciding to change the rules. So, like, no, I'm gonna go with the witchcraft. I think that's what I would go with.
This is not an invitation for witch covens to reach out to us to have a friend real life Holmes room experience, but there's certainly a theme to some of these answers. Speaking of themes, I picked this one because I think it will be one that we maybe have another similar answer to. Would you rather, homie, spend a year in solitary confinement in prison or attend a public execution?
I almost picked this one, but I was like, it has something with criminal justice in it, so Kaitlin is going to pick it. I will let her have her moment. Um, I thought about that one really hard when I thought about like selecting it, because it's like, I don't know. I think I would have to do the like solitary, even though it would probably like destroy me as a person, simply because I don't think I could like witness, like I don't think I could, like I think that event, seeing it would like imprint on me, and I wouldn't be able to unsee it, and it would stick with me, especially depending on the circumstances. Like if we're talking like a beheading or a hanging or something from like way back in the day, like yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Or firing squad or something like, I don't say archaic, but like something not of today's standard.
Well, remember that one time I said that we have similar answers? We do not, because I would pick the public execution.
It's because you don't see ghosts, motherfucker.
Okay, that's true. That's true. First and foremost,
That
I'm still
motherfucker would
learning.
stay with me, and I wouldn't be able to get rid of him.
Well, I do think that I could learn to like grow from the experience of being in solitary confinement. I would also just as likely turn into a crazy fucking person because I'm
Yeah.
too much of an extrovert to be in solitary confinement for any period of time, let alone a year. This is how I also know that I need like a little bit of a vibe check of the content that I'm consuming. Not because I'm watching videos of public executions. I watch pretty like regularly podcasts from comedians who talk about how screwed up their social media algorithms are. Like
Yeah.
to the point where they do get actual videos of like homicides on some of their social media platforms, Instagram. And yes, I picked this one kind of from a criminal justice perspective, but I also think it's a little bit of a testament to the world today and how desensitized we are to
Yeah.
violence and acts of violence. I mean, weekly, there are awful, heinous events that happen in our country and across the world. And it's just kind of like in today's digital day and age, the violence and the shock value of a public execution, while yes, maybe all gathering to watch public execution would still be a traumatic event, I think it would be a lot easier to manage because we are so desensitized to violence and tragedy and grief and all of that. Like there's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm descending into another little like philosophy rabbit hole here on this
Yeah.
one, but I did absolutely pick this one from like a criminal justice perspective. So you know your co-host very well, Matt.
Yeah, as my questions that I've selected have made you squirm a little bit simply because I was like, which ones are going to be good ones to ask her? Like this one. Would you rather wear a costume of skin of a dead human or wear a mask made of a human skull?
What is wrong with you?
Right? I was like, this one, I was like, damn, like this one is like sandwiched between like nothing like that. And I was like, damn, that one, I would have missed that one had I not like just happened to look at the one, the laughter and immortal, like yeah.
I guess if my stomach is turning. I guess if I have to answer this one, I would pick the skull because another person's body part is only touching one part of my body and I'm not wearing a whole skin suit. So thanks for that, Matt. This is real fun.
Yeah. So, I mean, like what I pictured, like, like, uh, Hercules or Conan, where they had like the lion head on their head, and like
Mm-hmm.
how funny that is. But like, I also, I mean, it was Game of Thrones did it, uh, like Vikings probably did it. So it's like all of those like shows like that have had like somebody wearing like
Mm-hmm.
the like just the like the orbital bone across their face, like. It's like, yeah, I could do that. I think I would go with a mask because I don't want to wear somebody's skin because it's somebody's skin. So no on
I'm
that
gonna
one.
throw up.
What's your next one?
Ugh, God. There were a couple on here that I felt like would like be cheating if I asked you specifically because like we've had several conversations about the encounters that you do. So like for example, I was going to ask but then was like, meh. Would you rather have the ability to see the spirits of the deceased or be constantly followed by a malevolent entity that only you can see? I almost picked this one first and foremost because um not the haunting of Bly Manor, the other one. Or is it the haunting of Bly? No, the first one.
Hill House.
Yes, the haunting of Hill House. Beautiful storytelling. Yes, there are a couple jump scares. The acting, the caliber of acting in that show is on Netflix. If you want a spooky ooky show, please watch it. I almost asked you this one first and foremost because I already know what your answer is going to be, but I think, but so you don't have to answer this one. I just want to mention, go watch The Haunting of Hill House because there is a brother who is a drug addict, but his storyline is that he constantly has this malevolent entity that keeps following him, that latched onto him through his childhood living in Hill House. And that's what, just shout out to Haunting in Hill House, I guess. So my real would you rather is, would you rather be tortured for a week but guaranteed to survive, or be given a lethal injection without any suffering?
Yeah, the lethal injection without any suffering. What? Like, I don't want to be tortured. If I have the choice, I would prefer to not be tortured. So there's that.
Honestly, kind of took me by surprise on that answer. I would pick the first one because I have children that I love and I want to see grow up. Not that you don't want to see.
Well, I guess, like, but at the same time, like, I wouldn't want them to see me like that. So, like,
oh, that's true. But maybe you can go back and that be the traumatic event you can erase out of your mind.
Yeah, fair. I guess that you are creating a landscape here in which I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, no, I definitely quick, like a bug.
What's your next one there, homie?
Would you rather be haunted by a ghost every night or cursed with immortality? And then everybody you know is a ghost. Ghost of memory.
I just pointed out how you can see my little prepared cocoon in the mirror behind me in my vanity because I'm so excited to go to bed. Like, as soon as we stop recording this episode, I'm popping melatonin. I'm so looking forward to
what
that.
You're saying is we should have done my ghost story for this week at the onset of this episode as opposed to at the end of the episode.
Yeah, thanks for that. I totally forgot we have one more ghost story. I'll just say I really like my sleep, so I don't want leave me alone at night. Everybody go away at night. How's that? No ghosties. You can chill out with me during daylight or daytime hours, but no, I don't want any ghosts at night.
Did anybody go watch Vacancy? Can you tell us what sleeping pills she took so we can get them for Kaitlin?
Dude.
All right. What's your answer?
Okay, so this is my last one, believe it or not. I've honestly have zero idea how you're going to answer this one.
No, what's your answer?
Oh, for what?
You didn't answer it. For ghost, be haunted by a ghost every night, or immortality?
Immortality.
Okay.
Because I think just because I'm immortal doesn't mean I don't get to sleep.
Fair. You will not sleep when you die. You will sleep alive.
That's true. Okay. I was stumped on I don't even have a guess on how you would pick this one. My last would you rather have the power to stop time but age twice as fast during those moments, or would you rather live forever but have to watch everyone you love grow old and die? Which, if you think about it, hold on, vocal processor. They're kind of the same option.
Yeah, ish. Like, because you're growing old though, right? Not the people. I mean, it's kind of not. I mean, yes and no. I would grow older because at least I can enjoy those moments. And like I said, it's about making memories now. So if I could stop time and like enjoy those memories, even though it's like making me older, by the time I'm like too old to do anything, I probably have some good memories that are like super vivid because I was able to stop them. So.
Oh, we have different mentalities to answer this one. While I do pick the same one, I'm envisioning Evan Peters as Quicksilver in the X-Men movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, I age twice as fast, but I would also like freeze time and like stop those moments to like help people or rob a bank or steal the Declaration of Independence or do some kind of fun shit too. Yeah. So like, yeah, I'd be dying a little bit quicker, but I have some cool stories.
That's fair. All right. Well, if you just asked your last one, I'm going to search through my list and see which one I want to ask as my last one, because I tried to select just a bunch just so I didn't know how long they were going to take. But like I said, it's just such a fun. Okay, this one was like a you question, and I don't know how you didn't select this one. But
Mm-hmm.
would you rather lose the ability to feel any emotion or be overwhelmed by uncontrollable emotions at random intervals?
Homie, I know you unfortunately or fortunately, don't have a uterus. I would like to educate you about what PMS is for a woman that has had 2 children and is in her 30s. The second one is my reality, especially
No,
while
that's
I'm
what I figured.
PMSing. So I would choose the known evil.
That's
And
fair.
also, yeah, let's dive back into this philosophy rabbit hole. To exist is to suffer. You got to feel all of the emotions. It's
Yeah.
very ironic that this is where the conversation's going because just tonight after dinner, we had a family movie night where we watched Inside Out 2 for the first time.
We did that the other night.
All 4 of us together. And at the end of the movie, just like how joy and anxiety and all these new emotions, while Riley, the main female character, hits puberty, all these big emotions learn how to coexist together. I got so emotional. Luke looked over at me. He was like, "Are you crying right now?" I was like, "Yes, I'm crying because I'm so joyful that I live in a world where like my kids get to grow up watching movies like Inside Out and having education about emotions. Like they are 2 and 3 and already know how to communicate, not only communicate, but identify and communicate the emotions that they're feeling. Like they're already set up for so much more success than I was at their age just because the culture around emotions and expressing emotions has changed so much. To exist is to suffer. Like you have to be able to feel the good and feel the bad and hold and give space for all the emotions. So I picked the second one.
Fair. Um, I also would want to feel emotion. So, I mean, losing the ability to like to feel any emotion, like, what's the point of life then?
Mhm,
Because you're also not experiencing like happy. You're
mhm.
just kind of numb. And newsflash, that's already kind of my existence sometimes. So let's not do that. Let's feel the emotion because I'd rather do that. But all right, so we've come to that point. Did you enjoy the Would You Rather's?
One more time, Matt.
Did you enjoy the Would You Rather's?
I did. It was not nearly as painful as I thought it was going to be while I was sitting here looking through this spooky, terrifying fucking list of Would You Rathers. Yet again, I'm so excited that I have survived another round of, or our second series of Halloween episodes. That being said, you have one more scary
Yeah,
ghost story to share, Matt.
I do. And like this one, I don't. I should have gone back and listened to see if I told this one already, because it's one of the most vivid to me. But I don't often talk about it because it's the one that makes me sound like a fucking loon. So like, if you heard last week's, it's even more Looney Tunes than the one from last week, because at least last week I had somebody else that also saw this shit. So I remember I used to work at the movie theater here, and uh, one of the gals that I worked with, she was talking about something, and she was going through some shit in her life, and she was like, "Sorry, my demons don't have cloven feet, and horns." And she kind of was saying that to say like, my emotional demons are this thing. They don't manifest in uh like a typical way where like you would expect them to. And she was kind of like trying to say it in a way that like expressed her dealing with the situation while also putting it in a context that like somebody could like, I guess, visually understand. And the thing that she didn't understand in that moment talking to me is my demons do have cloven feet and horns. So there's there's a like one thing that I've seen 3 times, I think, total. First time I was probably 7 or 8, and I like sleeping in my bedroom, with the TV on, so there's a shadow cast, that kind of thing. Um, and immediately I thought I must have left a toy somewhere in front of the TV because the shadow on the wall was something really tall, looked like it had antlers, really long fingers, and I was like, what the fuck? And I rolled over and there was nothing there, and I was like, I am turning the TV off now. And I was like petrified, couldn't sleep that night. And then from that point forward I tried to sleep laying towards the TV, but I didn't want to turn the TV light off because again I was a little kid and dark was scary. So like whatever. Flash forward to, I think I was like 15 or 16, and we had one of those, like, I guess you would consider it a split level, but it wasn't like a split level where you walk into like stairs going up or down. It was like you walk into one level that was the kitchen, and then you could go upstairs to the bedrooms or down some stairs to like the living area. So my bedroom was up up the stairs, and then like the last bedroom before like essentially like the half wall stopped that you would see over in like a split level. So I remember coming out of my room to go get something from downstairs, like probably water or something. Maybe I was going to the bathroom, I don't know. But I remember opening the door and I heard something in the kitchen, and like groggy, rubbed my eyes, turned, saw what was seemingly like a 7 foot tall shadow, antlers, feet too thick to not be like cloveny. And I remember like smashing up against my bedroom door, like, oh my God, like, and rubbing my eyes, trying to see whatever it was that I saw. And at this point, I'm old enough to understand like seeing something scary, seeing something not scary. So I went through all of the things that I could have possibly seen and made it seem that way. And like at that point in time, there's also a ton of movies making fun of people with like sleep paralysis and like seeing stuff and matrixing, where like your brain tries to make sense of something that it saw in like forms of. So like I remember like looking through the kitchen from the angle and walking that same like 3 steps like 17 different times trying to process what it was I saw, but I didn't see the light pass through the thing. And there was always a light on above ours, like in that little corner. So I know that there was no way I didn't, like whatever it was I saw was physically there. And again, I don't tell anybody about it because like I was like, they're gonna fucking laugh at me. I'm not gonna say it. Flash forward to uh 2016, I think, is when we moved to this house. And like I said, this is the house I've had the least amount of activity in, that being at the time the only activity that I had. Is I remember waking up, rolling over in our bed. We have a closet that's like an open face closet, so all our clothes are just sitting there. And then on the other side of the room we have like a washer and dryer. So there's no area where like something tall just is, where it's like, oh, I saw in the closet door, because I don't have closet doors. My clothes are sitting out, so like that's not a thing. And on the other side there's literally a washer and dryer that are like half the height of a person, so there's nothing tall. So I remember rolling over and I saw what I thought was a washer and dryer, and I was like, why is it so dark on that side of the room? And at that time, Courtney has like a little plug-in that lights up the room blue on that side. I think it's like a charger or something that just like casts blue light. I was like, why is it? And then I thought, did I not put something in there? Or did I throw the blanket on there or something? And like trying to process it in that wake up moment, you're like, huh, why? That doesn't, our washer and dryer is white. There's no way that that's what that is. And it's shiny. So as I'm like waking up, because nothing is making sense, the shadow grows to again like 7.5, 8 feet tall. And I realize it's the antlered thing coming out of the ground. And I was like, what the, and I grab Courtney's shoulder because my first instinct is pull her away from it.
Mhm.
And she rolls over like, what? And then I couldn't get words out because I was like, I don't even know how to explain what I'm seeing. And I said, do you see that? And as I assume she opened her eyes, the shadow is almost faded into where I can see the washer machine again. So I can tell that there is white now visible she rolls over to look at me to see what I'm looking at because it's dark in our room, so she has no idea what I'm asking her if she sees, and she said, "No, what? Do you need me to turn on the light or do you need to turn on the TV or something?" And I was like, "No, I think it's fine. I'm gonna roll over though. Like if I like push up against you, just like understand that I'm having a moment. I'm sorry." She's like, "Okay, whatever." And she rolls back over. And as I roll back over, that closet that I said was open faced, it is standing in that corner. And now I know for sure because the clothes don't look like that. And I was like, nope. And I turned on the TV, shadow's gone. And I was like, yep, this is going to be one of those nights where I'm just going to lay here and watch ridiculousness for like fucking 15 hours. Whatever MTV got on, this is what I'm watching.
What's the vibe you get from this entity?
I was hoping you were going to ask that. It's a serious, so like I don't tell this story and I assume everybody would think it must be evil and it seems weird. It actually seems like it is putting on a show. Like it is trying to seem super imposing, as big as it can, as scary as it can. But ultimately, I get the vibe that like it's inquisitive and doesn't want to like doesn't it wants to like a squirrel, if you had like one of those window feeder boxes where it's like it keeps coming up to it and then like it it doesn't feel like it's trying to attack, it doesn't feel like it's trying to be like evil, it feels like it's just curious and like watching and seeing how things are. I have no idea, and I've only ever seen it like I think maybe one other time besides that, so like I have no idea, and it's never like come any closer than like halfway across a room or like a solid distance. And I feel like whenever I see it, it's always like frozen. Like it's like, can you see me? Can you not see me? You can see me. Oh shit. And then it's gone. And then it gets closer. Like it did that in the last part of that story. And I feel like that was like where I got the most inquisitive. Like it was confused at whether I could or could not see it and in which way or which form. And this is why I think it like puts on a show. But yeah, it was like, yep, that is a thing. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing yet again another ghost story. I am so happy to be your co-host because maybe I am closed-minded, but even if I was open-minded and I wanted to have more spiritual encounters like that or encounters with whatever these entities are, it sounds like, Matt, you're having a fucking enough for you and me and all of our fucking siblings.
Yeah.
Jesus. Ugh.
Yeah. That one, like I said,
if you can hear us, Mr. Long fucking Finger Dude, you can come over and use my cuticle oil if you want to, but stay the fuck over at Matt's house.
Yeah. Like I said, that one is one I like I said, I can't remember if I told that one only because like this is the only place I would tell that one. Because
I do not ever recall you talking about.
And I figured you would know immediately. So, like I said, it's the stuff that I've had happen, the stuff that I've seen happen is always crazy to me, but like it also has a sense of normalcy. And then I often forget that other people don't have shit like that happen. So, it just kind of is what it is. But hopefully you all enjoyed our Halloween series and our Would You Rather and these ghost stories. Again, following us on social media, sharing with your buddies, and commenting on our posts, commenting on these episodes, which through Spotify, there's actually a comment button now, so you can comment and let us know what you thought, ask questions, get involved in the conversation. All of those things help us out, giving reviews, that sort of thing. So yeah, thank you, Kaitlin, for putting up with yet another Halloween series and ghost stories and like haunted things. Yeah,
Happy Halloween, homies!
Exactly. Happy Halloween. Go trick or treating. Hopefully, no razor blades and apples. All those kinds of things. I love that was your immediate like hands to face. Like you have not heard that before.
I'm like, that's what you want to end the episode on right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Don't get an apple with a razor blade in it. That is solid advice. Unlike what that raven would give. Thank you very much. That's
Be safe, homies.